Welcome back to Just 2 Minutes, Just a Mishnah. This Mishnah is the Nishmas, Fred Ale Basrachel, and the Schus of Eli Yitzchak Ben Gila, and the Frost, Ter Basivash, the Fur Shlema. So, and the Nishmas, Yisrael Yitzchak Ben Yishai Leib. So, because we have a 2-day Yom Tov this year, also for us over here in Israel, so we're going to do 3 Mishnahs today, and 3 Mishnahs on Motzei Shabbos. So Masechas Bava metziah Perak Beis Mishnah Ches Tes and Yud Matzah Svarim Karbehen Achas L'Shloshim Mem. So in this Mishnah we're going to talk about if you find something, you have to take care of this thing of the lost object to make sure that it doesn't go bad. So if you find books, so you have to read from them once every 30 days. And if you don't know how to read, then you just have to roll them out, because in those days we're talking about basically a Sefer Torah or a scroll. So you have to roll the scrolls in order to air them out. But you shouldn't read if it's like something which you've never read before. You shouldn't read it. You should just scroll through it, because then you'll get stuck in one place and you won't actually air the whole thing out, and you'll wear out the book. And you shouldn't read it with someone else, because then you're both going to be pulling at it basically from different sides, and it wears out the binding. Motzei, if you find like a sheet, minara achas l'shloshim, so you have to dust it, beat it to get out the dust once every 30 days. And you have to hang it up when it needs to be hung up in order to air it out. But you can't hang it up just because you want to use it to make your house look nice. If someone finds silver or copper items, so he uses them as much as these items need in order for them not to go rusty. But not for something which isn't good for them. So let's say if they're good specifically for cold water, so you shouldn't put hot water in them. Or vice versa. Clay zav or clay zchuchis. If someone finds gold or glass vessels, lo yigabehen ad she'av Eliyahu, so you shouldn't touch them until Eliyahu Hanavi comes. Meaning, because if you're supposed to keep these things basically until Eliyahu Hanavi comes and tells us who they belong to. So you have to keep it either until then or until someone comes and proves that it's his. Otherwise, and if not, sorry, you don't do anything with it. You just leave it. Matzah sakai kupa. If you find a sack or a box, we call davar in darker little, anything which isn't normal for people to carry around. So you shouldn't pick it up, because we assume that the guy put it there on purpose. Mishnah test Ezeh Aveda, what's considered a lost object? Matzah chamar para rayin baderach enzo Aveda. If you see a cow or a donkey walking on the street, so it's not a lost object, because it could be that the owner just let his donkey walk over there. Chamar v'kelef hafuchin. If you see like a donkey with his the saddle's upside down, or the saddle fell off. Pararotzim ben akram. If you see a cow running through a vineyard, hareza avedos, that's considered lost, and then you have to go and give it back. Hachzira barcha afila arba v'chamisha pa'amim chayav lahachzira. If you bring it back to the owner and then it runs away and it keeps on happening, so even 4 or 5 times you have to keep on bringing it back. Shenamar hashev to shivem, because it says in the pasuk you have to give it back, so you have to keep on giving it back. If you because of all this time of running after this animal, you lost working time, and you lost a seller, which is an amount of money that you lost a seller worth of time. You can't tell the owner of the lost object, pay me a seller. He has to pay you the amount which you would have been willing. So you work out how much you would have been willing to pay, basically, in order to get lesser work, meaning how much you would be willing to be moichel on, to get how much you would have been willing to forego, how much out of your payment you have been willing to forego to get an easier job, like running after an animal, and that amount that we get to, the small amount, so that he pays, so the owner of the lost object, that's the amount that he pays. If there's a basin there, so we can say before, I'm only going to pick this up or to find this lost object as long as the owner gives me a seller, and if it's in front of a basin, but if there's no basin there, so then he doesn't have to go and pick it up, because he doesn't have to lose out in order to pick up, in order to find someone else's lost object. Mishnah Yud metziah barefes. If someone finds a cow in a barn, but it's not locked in, so it could run away, in a chayav basa, he doesn't have to do anything about it because it's not considered lost. Rishus harabim, if he finds a cow in public property, chayav basa, then he has to take it and find the owner. Vim haisa beisa kvarais. If it was in a graveyard, so he doesn't have to go into the graveyard and become impure in order to go and rescue this cow. If his father said to him, go and become tameh in order to get this cow, or if it was in a different case where he does have to go and get it, and his father said, don't go and get it, lo yishma lo, so he shouldn't listen to his father. Park Vatan says halacha that if you see your friend with his donkey and his donkey collapsed and he has a heavy load on it, so you have to go and help him. So if he takes, and then you also have to help him put it back on. So if you put it on, if you help him unload the donkey and then help him put it back on, and then the donkey collapses again, this keeps on happening. Even if it happens again 4 or 5 times, you have to keep on unloading it and reloading it. Because it says in the pasuk twice azav to azav, meaning you have to keep on doing it. If the owner of the donkey just went and sat on the side and said, here, take your mitzvah, unload the donkey. So so then obviously you don't have to do it because it's not this guy. This guy has to do it with you. Because it says in the pasuk with him, meaning that the guy still has to do it, but you'll have to help him. If he was a sick person or old and he was told you go and do it, so then you have to do it. It's a mitzvah daraisa from the Torah to take the stuff off the animal, but putting it back on isn't a mitzvah daraisa, it's a mitzvah derabanan. Rabbi Shimon says even putting the stuff back, helping the guy reload his donkey, is also a mitzvah daraisa. Rabbi Yossi says, but if the guy was putting on originally more than this donkey could handle, so it's the owner's fault this donkey collapsed, you don't have to help him with anything. Because it says in the pasuk that it collapsed because of its load, so because it means its load, a load which it could handle, and those are today's Mishnayos.